Now listen closely, because this is something a lot of people get wrong when it comes to relationships. People always look for big signs, loud signals, or clear words. But the truth is, attraction doesn't always come with an announcement. Most of the time, it shows up quietly in the little things, the subtle moves, the unconscious actions. And if you're paying attention, you don't need her to say a word. You can feel it. When a woman is around a man she likes, her energy shifts. She becomes more aware, more present, more engaged. And one of the biggest giveaways is how comfortable she is being herself in front of you. See, when a woman touches certain things around you, her hair, her face, her neck, even adjusting her clothes, it's not always random. A lot of the time, it's a natural reaction to attraction. She's not doing it as a performance. She's doing it because your presence is affecting her. Now, don't misunderstand this. This isn't about jumping to conclusions or assuming every little move means something big. You've got to look at the full picture. But when these gestures come with eye contact, with a smile, with attention that stays on you, that's when it starts to mean something deeper. That's when it's not just habit, it's connection. A woman who likes you will find small ways to stay engaged with you. She might lean in when you talk. She might play with something in her hands while listening to you. But her focus doesn't leave you. She might touch her hair more often, adjust her posture, or even mirror your movements without realizing it. These are not rehearsed actions. These are instinctive signals, and instinct doesn't lie. Body language is one of the most powerful yet most misunderstood forms of communication in any relationship. People often rely too much on words, expecting that if someone likes them, they will simply say it directly. But the reality is very different. Human beings are emotional creatures, and emotions tend to express themselves naturally through actions long before they are ever spoken out loud. This is especially true when it comes to attraction. When a woman feels drawn to someone, her body often reacts in subtle ways that reveal her interest, without her even realizing it. These signals are not planned or rehearsed. They come from a place of instinct. When a woman is around someone she feels comfortable with or attracted to, her body language begins to soften. You might notice that she becomes more relaxed in her posture, more open in her gestures, and more engaged in her movements. One of the most noticeable signs is how she interacts with herself or objects around her. For example, she may gently play with her hair, adjust her clothing, or touch her face more frequently. These actions might seem small or meaningless at first, but they often reflect an internal awareness of your presence. Eye contact is another major part of this unspoken communication. When a woman likes you, her eyes will naturally find you, even in a crowded room. She may hold eye contact just a second longer than usual, or quickly look away when she realizes you've noticed. That moment of connection, followed by a shy or subtle reaction, carries more meaning than a long conversation sometimes. It shows that her attention is drawn toward you without effort. Combined with small gestures like a smile or a slight tilt of the head, these signs become even more significant. Another important aspect is proximity. People tend to move closer to those they feel comfortable with. If a woman consistently positions herself near you, leans in while you're speaking, or finds reasons to stay within your personal space, it often indicates interest. This closeness is not forced. It happens naturally because she feels at ease and engaged in your presence. Even the way she turns her body towards you during a conversation can reveal where her focus truly lies. Mirroring is also a strong indicator of attraction. This is when someone unconsciously imitates your gestures, posture, or speaking style. If you notice that she starts to adopt similar movements, like crossing her arms when you do, matching your tone, or even syncing her pace with yours, it suggests a deeper level of connection. This kind of behavior is rooted in psychology, where people subconsciously align themselves with those they feel drawn to or comfortable around. However, understanding body language requires patience and awareness. It is not about taking one single gesture and assigning it a fixed meaning. Context matters. A woman touching her hair once might mean nothing, but if it happens repeatedly while she is engaged with you, smiling, maintaining eye contact, and staying close, it becomes part of a larger pattern. It's the combination of signals that creates a clearer picture of her feelings. It's also important to approach these signs with respect and emotional intelligence. Misinterpreting body language can lead to awkward or uncomfortable situations. Just because someone shows subtle signs of interest does not mean they are ready for bold moves or assumptions. The key is to respond with calm confidence. Acknowledge the connection, but allow it to develop naturally. When you give space for comfort and trust to grow, the signals become clearer and more meaningful over time. In many ways, body language is more honest than words. People can choose what they say, but they have less control over how they move, react, and express themselves physically. Learning to observe these details can give you a deeper understanding of attraction and connection. It allows you to see beyond surface-level interactions and recognize the emotions that are quietly unfolding. Comfort and natural behavior are some of the clearest signs of genuine interest in any relationship. Yet they are often overlooked because they don't appear dramatic or obvious. People tend to think that attraction must come with bold actions or direct confessions. But in reality, true interest often reveals itself through ease, simplicity, and authenticity. When a woman genuinely likes you, she doesn't feel the need to constantly impress or perform. Instead, she begins to relax into who she really is. And that shift is one of the most powerful indicators of connection. When someone feels comfortable around you, their guard starts to come down. This doesn't happen instantly, but when it does, it changes the entire dynamic of your interaction. A woman who is at ease with you will speak more freely, laugh more naturally, and show parts of her personality that she might usually keep hidden. She won't be overly cautious about every word she says or every move she makes. Instead, her behavior becomes more fluid and genuine. That kind of openness is not something you can fake for long. It only comes when there is a sense of trust and emotional safety. You might notice that she begins to share small details about her life without being asked. These aren't always deep or serious topics at first, but they are personal enough to show that she is inviting you into her world. It could be stories about her day, her thoughts on random things, or even her opinions that she doesn't usually express openly. This kind of sharing is important because it shows she values your presence and feels comfortable enough to let you see her beyond the surface. Another strong sign of comfort is how she behaves during silence. Many people feel the need to fill every quiet moment with conversation, especially when they are nervous or unsure. But when a woman truly enjoys being around you, silence doesn't feel awkward. She can sit with you, walk with you, or simply exist in the same space without feeling pressure to constantly talk. That kind of calm presence is a sign that she is not just interested in impressing you. She actually enjoys being with you. Her reactions will also become more natural and less filtered. She may laugh more openly, even at things that aren't particularly funny, because she feels relaxed and happy in your presence. She might tease you in a playful way, showing that she is comfortable enough to be lighthearted without worrying about being judged. These small moments of genuine expression are far more meaningful than any rehearsed behavior because they reflect her true feelings. Physical comfort also plays a role in this. While attraction can lead to certain gestures, genuine comfort determines how natural those gestures feel. If she casually adjusts her position to be closer to you or doesn't pull away quickly from small, respectful interactions, it suggests that she feels safe and at ease. There's no tension or hesitation in her movements. Everything flows naturally because she is not overthinking the situation. It's important to understand that comfort builds over time. It is not something that appears instantly. and it cannot be forced. If you try too hard to create it, you may actually disrupt it. The best way to encourage this kind of natural behavior is by being consistent, respectful, and genuine to yourself. When you create an environment where she feels heard and valued, she will naturally begin to relax and show her true self. At the same time, you have to be aware of the difference between politeness and genuine comfort. Some people are naturally friendly and open with everyone, but there is a deeper level of ease that comes with real interest. It shows in how she prioritizes you, how she maintains engagement, and how her energy shifts when she is around you compared to others. That difference may be subtle, but it becomes clear if you pay attention over time. Understanding comfort and natural behavior is not about analyzing every detail or overthinking every action. It's about recognizing the overall feeling of the interaction. When someone truly likes you, being around you feels easy, not complicated. There is a sense of flow, a lack of tension, and a genuine enjoyment in each other's presence. Those are the moments that matter most because they are real, unforced, and built on something deeper than surface-level attraction. Small, repeated gestures often carry more meaning than grand, one-time actions, especially when it comes to understanding emotional connection. In relationships, people sometimes expect big declarations or obvious signs to confirm interest. But the truth is, genuine feelings tend to reveal themselves through consistency. It's not about what happens once. It's about what keeps happening naturally, over time, without effort or force. When a woman truly likes you, her behavior forms patterns, and those patterns speak louder than any single moment ever could. These gestures are usually subtle, almost easy to miss if you're not paying attention. It could be the way she consistently looks at you when you speak, the way her attention stays fixed on you, even when there are distractions around, or how she remembers small details you mentioned in passing. These are not things people do out of obligation. They come from a place of genuine interest. When someone values you, their mind holds on to the little things about you, and that naturally reflects in their actions. Repetition is what turns a simple gesture into something meaningful. For example, if she casually touches her hair once while talking to you, it might not mean much. But if it becomes a recurring behavior every time you're around, combined with eye contact, a soft smile, and focused attention, it starts to form a pattern. That pattern is what you need to notice. It shows that her reaction to your presence is consistent, not random. Another important gesture is how she initiates or maintains interaction. If she finds small reasons to talk to you, whether it's asking simple questions, sharing something minor, or even just checking in, it shows that you are on her mind. These actions might seem ordinary, but when they happen repeatedly, they indicate effort. And effort is one of the clearest signs of interest. People naturally invest time and energy into what matters to them. You might also notice consistency in her physical orientation and engagement. When she's around you, her body tends to face you, her attention rarely drifts, and she responds actively to what you say. Even in group settings, her focus often returns to you. This kind of repeated engagement shows that she is not just passively present. She is actively connected to the moment with you. It's a quiet but powerful signal that she values your presence more than others around her. There's also something important about emotional consistency. If her mood seems to lift when you're around, if she becomes more expressive, more relaxed, or more playful in your presence, and this happens again and again, it's not a coincidence. It means your presence has a positive impact on her emotional state. That kind of reaction cannot be forced or maintained without genuine feeling behind it. Consistency also reveals intention. Anyone can show interest for a moment, especially in a situation where emotions are high or circumstances are unique. But when someone continues to show the same level of attention, warmth, and engagement over time, it reflects something deeper. It shows that their interest is not temporary or situational. It is steady and real. This is why patterns matter more than isolated actions. However, understanding repeated gestures requires patience. You cannot rush to conclusions based on a few interactions. You have to observe over time and see whether the behavior continues naturally. If it does, it becomes much easier to understand her feelings without needing direct confirmation. At the same time, you have to stay grounded and not overanalyze every small movement. The goal is not to create meaning where there is none, but to recognize genuine patterns when they exist. It's also important to respond in a balanced way. When you notice consistent signs of interest, your reaction should reflect confidence and awareness, not urgency. You don't need to chase every gesture or immediately act on every signal. Instead, you match the consistency with your own steady behavior. This creates a sense of mutual understanding where both people feel comfortable expressing themselves without pressure. Over time, these small repeated gestures build a stronger connection. They create a rhythm between two people where interaction feels natural and expected rather than forced. This rhythm is what forms the foundation of deeper emotional bonds. It's not built on one big moment, but on many small ones that align over time, creating something meaningful and real. Confidence and respect are two of the most important elements when it comes to understanding signals in any relationship, yet they are often misunderstood or poorly balanced. Many people think confidence means being bold, serious या हर सिग्नल पर फौरन एक्शन लेना, लेकिन हकीकत में असल एतमाद खामोश, controlled और समझदार होता है. It is not about proving something to someone else, but about being secure within yourself while allowing things to unfold naturally. At the same time, respect acts as the boundary that keeps everything healthy and meaningful. Without respect, even the strongest confidence can turn into pressure. And that is where connections begin to break instead of grow. When a woman shows subtle signs of interest, the way you respond matters more than the signs themselves. A confident person does not rush or become overly excited at the first hint of attraction. Instead, he observes, understands, and moves with patience. This kind of behavior creates a sense of calm and stability, which is naturally attractive. When you are not desperate for validation, you give the other person space to express themselves freely, and that space is where genuine connection develops. Respect plays a critical role in how you interpret and act on these signals. Just because someone is showing interest does not mean they are ready for immediate advances or assumptions. There is a difference between recognizing attraction and acting on it too quickly. A respectful approach means you acknowledge the possibility of interest, but you also remain mindful of her comfort level. You don't push boundaries, you don't assume intentions, and you don't try to force the situation into something it's not ready to become. One of the clearest signs of true confidence is emotional control. When you can stay composed, regardless of what signals you are receiving, it shows that you are grounded. You are not reacting out of impulse or insecurity. Instead, you are choosing your actions carefully. This creates trust because the other person feels that they are dealing with someone stable and predictable, not someone who might suddenly become overwhelming or uncomfortable. Respect also shows in the way you communicate. If you sense interest, your words and tone should reflect understanding, not pressure. You don't need to confront her with direct questions or force her to admit her feelings. Instead, you create an environment where she feels safe to express herself at her own pace. This means listening more, observing more, and speaking in a way that encourages openness rather than fear of judgment. Another important aspect is recognizing boundaries, both spoken and unspoken. Sometimes people show interest but still maintain certain limits, and that is completely natural. A confident and respectful person understands that attraction does not erase personal space or individual comfort. If she pulls back slightly, becomes quiet, or changes her behavior, it is important to notice and adjust rather than ignore those signals. Respecting these moments shows emotional intelligence and maturity. There is also strength in restraint. Not every moment requires action, and not every signal requires a response. Sometimes the best move is to simply let things develop. When you allow time and consistency to shape the interaction, you create a stronger and more genuine bond. Acting too quickly can disrupt that natural flow, while patience allows it to grow in a stable and meaningful way. Confidence without respect can come across as arrogance, while respect without confidence can feel uncertain or passive. The balance between the two is what creates a strong and attractive presence. When you carry yourself with quiet confidence and treat the other person with genuine respect, you naturally stand out. You don't need to force anything, because your behavior speaks for itself. Understanding signals in a relationship is not just about recognizing what the other person is doing. It is also about how you choose to respond. Your response sets the tone for everything that follows. When you approach the situation with confidence and respect, you create a space where attraction can grow into something deeper, based on trust, comfort, and mutual understanding.